Good evening, friends. My name is Sam Anand, and I'm a worldwide partner leader for data and AI at AWS. I'm super excited to be here with you. It's a real honor to address this graduating class of 2025. Thanks to Madras Christian College for providing me this opportunity to have this talk with you all. It just seems like yesterday when I was on the other side, seated as a student with my college mates, listening to multiple career counseling sessions and a thousand thoughts running in my mind, not knowing what to do, where to start, what should I focus on, and how my career will take off. But trust me, don't be anxious. Just take it one day at a time, trust in God, and do your part, and everything should fall in its place. So, the topic of today's talk track is called as From Code to Career, how you can navigate the data and AI landscape in 2025. So, congratulations, everyone. You are now graduating from debugging code to debugging your life. Jokes apart, over the last 3 years, you have learned how to debug code, like systematically identifying problems, analyzing potential issues, and testing solutions and alternatives that can be applied. Now, the same thing, the same learnings, you can take it and apply towards navigating challenges in your personal life as well, allowing you to better understand and resolve issues and challenges you will be facing in everyday situation. So, what are we going to cover today? In the next 15 minutes, we are going to kind of cover what is the current state of the industry and the macro trends that are shaping our world. Number two, I think we are going to talk about the career paths and opportunity for folks like you who are interested in data and AI career. The third one, we are going to focus on what are the essential skills and technology to be successful in this fast changing environment. And fourth, I'm going to just give you a few recommendations in best practices on how to kind of like navigate and be successful in your career. And finally, we'll open it up for a Q&A. So don't worry looking at the slide. This is not a history class. Now, if you have seen the animated movie Moana, which is one of my kids' favorites, there is an anecdote in that movie, and it says, in order to know where you are going, you need to know where you are coming from. And so it is so true in our lives as well. Industrial revolution is defined as a period of significant technological advancements that transformed societies significantly, changing the economy and social structure of the world, making it a pivotal moment in human history. So, as humans, we have kind of seen the past three revolutions. Number one was the invention of the steam engine and the manufacturing and mining. Then we kind of witnessed the advent of electricity and the assembly lines in manufacturing, which changed the entire world. And third, we saw the rise of electronics, computers, and internet and automation and the whole start of the digital revolution. But the fourth revolution that we are currently witnessing, which is the data exchange, the AI, and cyber and physical systems, give humans a new way to interact with machines and to coexist with them. So, as I said, we are currently in the Industrial Revolution 4.0, right? So, it's a fascinating time to be living as software professionals. It's a culmination of multiple technological advancements that are coming together, like, for example, the advanced transformers that were introduced in 2017, the multimodal model LLMs, the cloud computing, the real time data streaming, and big data analytics are all coming together, and they are powered by the next generation of semiconductors that have infinite compute, storage, and memory. Just as an example, if you have seen the CES event 2025, Jensen Huang of NVIDIA introduced what they call as the Grace Blackwell chips. Believe it or not, these chips are have over about 92 billion transistors in them, and it has 1.4 exaflops, which is more faster than any supercomputer that exists today. It has 14 terabytes of memory, and it has a network bandwidth of about 1.2 petabytes per second. So, just to put that into context, the entire world's internet browsing and the traffic that goes through it at any point in time is only 1.2 petabytes per second. And think about it, it can just be handled by just one RTX chip. So that's the advances that we are seeing in the semiconductor world. Now, let's kind of rewind. And when electricity was introduced, and it has been years now, when you turn on the switch, how many times do you see or think that it is a flow of electrons? Do we have an appreciation for electricity? The same goes for internet. We turn on the computer and start our browser and we start browsing the internet. How many times have we really thought about HTTP and what goes to power the internet? We take it for granted. AI will eventually follow a similar path, becoming so ubiquitous that it will be part of the unseen substructure and fabric of everything that we do, and eventually we will not even know that it is there. We'll just experience a world where things are smarter, faster, and more intuitive, like magic, but grounded in algorithms. I just want to kind of show you a couple of projections for 2030 given by some leading consulting firms. According to McKinsey and Company, in 2030, 50% of the enterprise decisions globally will be made by AI. The other 50% will be assisted by it. So what does it mean? Simply put, I think all of the business decisions and enterprise decisions across all Fortune 500 and 1000 companies, 50% of those are going to be made autonomously by AI. The other 50% will have a human in the loop. Let that information soak in and let that kind of make you wonder where we are heading. Now, on the contrary, everyone is ready for AI except their data. Now, let's kind of dig deep into it. The last 2 years, everybody has been talking about generative AI, LLMs, RAG, vector databases, agentic models, and whatnot. But generative AI application is just like the tip of the iceberg that you see. Now, for this generative AI application to really work, it needs data. But in order to effectively use the data and make it relevant and contextual and enable prompt engineering to do its magic, we need a robust storage and end-to-end governance, versatile databases, analytics, and scalable data lakes. And finally, to bring it all together, we need a seamless data integration. So you might be wondering, why am I talking about all these things? Over the last two slides, I told you how organizations and enterprises are struggling to harness the power of generative AI in their own ecosystems or organizations. And data is going to be a critical aspect. And data infrastructure and foundations are going to be the key focus areas for organizations to turn Gen AI into something valuable for their own organizations. Now, over the last 2 years, all organizations have been focusing on how to use generative AI to enhance customer experience, boost employee productivity, create content, and improve their business operations. Now, what I want to show you is that generative AI has been transforming and disrupting every single vertical industry and sector, whether it is financial services, whether it is healthcare and life sciences, or whether it is automotive or media entertainment or telecom. Every single industry is going to be shaped reshaped and disrupted by generative AI. The AI market size in 2024, when I say market size, it's the combined spend of all the organizations in the world into AI was about $200 billion last year. And they are projecting that by 2030, the spend into AI is going to be about $1.3 trillion. Yes, it's $1.3 trillion. Now, having said that, we looked at the macro trends and what the spend is going to be and what organizations are going to be kind of focusing on. But let's kind of take a minute to kind of look at what are the data and AI trends that are going to shape this year in 2025. Now, all the organizations' data are kind of siloed and stored in multiple data warehouses, data lakes, right? And some in SaaS products. But now, what is really happening is organizations want to kind of discover and bring all of this data that is stored in multiple environments, multiple cloud providers, and SaaS products into one common place. And the modern open table formats, which is powered by Apache Iceberg, is actually going to kind of bring all of this together. Now, the second part of it is also organizations want to kind of bring this data into a common place where they can then harness it for either for AI or generative AI. And there is this new concept called as zero ETL, which makes it simple to integrate transactional and analytical products. The third one, which is managed data lakehouse. And this is going to be a single source of truth for both structured data and unstructured data, all in one place, which can then be used by generative AI to create powerful insights and actions. Now, on the generative AI side, there are three very important changes and transformations that are happening. Especially this year, we are going to be seeing how agentic AI will evolve generative AI from just content creation to autonomous decision making and execution. The convergence of multiple modalities will enable AI to perceive, understand, and create human like sensory dimensions. AI governance will take center stage as scrutiny and regulations are going to intensify this year. So, now that we have seen what are the major trends that are shaping our industry, the most important thing that you are all waiting for is what are the career paths and opportunity. Now, if you take any organization, they are investing heavily into these roles because these are the roles that are going to enable them to effectively leverage advanced analytics, AI, ML, and generative AI to its maximum. So, what are these roles? Data engineers are going to play a powerful role, and the needs of this particular role is extraordinary. Every organization wants a ton of data engineers to help them to ingest data, to prepare, clean, wrangle data, and to build ETL pipelines. And then there is this data scientists and ML engineers who are going to consume the data and to build statistical models and, of course, ML models to kind of like drive business outcomes. But besides this, there is also a separate platform team that is actually the needs are coming up, where there is going to be a needs for ML ops engineers, data security, and data architects. On the business side, there is going to be kind of a shadow like IT, where there are going to be product owners and business stakeholders who are going to be using, governing, and cataloging the data so that the rest of the organizations can start leveraging them. And then, of course, on the lower end, we also are going to have a ton of needs for data labelers and editors. We also need model fine-tuners. We need generative AI app developers and prompt engineers and testers. And finally, we also need business stakeholders to upskill themselves to kind of leverage generative AI to its best. Now, having said that, this is a report that was published by World Economic Forum just last week. And they have projected the top fastest growing jobs that are going to be there in 2025 and leading all the way to 2030. As you can see there, out of the top 15 jobs, almost the top 6 jobs are related to data and AI, like big data specialist, AI and machine learning, data warehousing, data analysts and scientists, and data DevOps and MLOps engineers. 1.8 million jobs are going to be created every year between now and 2030 in this space. So now, knowing that what jobs are going to be there and what jobs are going to be growing, you also may want to focus on which industries and sectors that these jobs are going to be made available. So as you can see here, automotive and aerospace, telecommunications, professional services and IT technology services, insurance, financial services, medical and healthcare services, energy and utilities, and government sector are all going to be needing these data and AI professionals. Okay, so now that you have seen what are the career paths for you, let's look at what are some of the skills and technologies that you should possess. So, what I call is a successful career begins with the SPARK. SPARK is an acronym. S stands for skills. It involves both your technical skills that you have picked on and what you're going to be building, but also soft skills like communication skills, presentation skills, speaker skills, and the way you articulate things. All of that is going to be super critical. Second one is passion. When you are joining an organization, try to understand what is the vision of the organization, what is their purpose, because you want to kind of be passionate about what you want to do and how it is going to align with the organization. Third one, which is very super critical, is adaptability. The models that were like at the peak yesterday are obsolete today. The algorithms which we used yesterday are becoming obsolete. So change is the only constant. And all I would say is be adaptable, be ready to change, be ready to acclimatize to all of the upcoming technologies. Fourth one is resilience. You should have a never give up attitude. You will face obstacles when you are developing something or building something, but always have resilience and a never give up attitude, and that will take you up in your career. Last but not least is to have a continuous learning through structural programs, on the job programs, but also through other means, through social media and other things. Right? Now, let's move on. So, as we were talking about how data and AI is going to be a big need for all of the organizations across the globe, if you want to enter and become a data professional, these are some of the must-have skills. Like, for example, get provision, get super having like super knowledge in advanced SQL, the ETL and ELT concepts, know more about data warehousing, Python scripting, and of course, data quality and governance, right? And then you can specialize as you can go forward. But these are the definitely must-have skills. Moving on, from a AI professional, if you want to go into the AI side of it or become an ML engineer or an AI engineer, right? Then these are the must-have skills. You should be having excellent skills in Python, be knowledgeable in PyTorch and TensorFlow, know the MLOps basics like the classifications, regression, because those are all going to still stay. And then be very versatile with model developments and deployments, and also get very well versed with the cloud platforms like GCP, AWS, and Microsoft Azure. Right? Now, this is just a guidance, but this is how you should kind of prepare yourself for your journey into the career world. Okay, so now that we have seen it, what are some of the recommendations that I can provide you? So one, I would say start building a portfolio while you are studying. Focus on quality versus quantity. What I mean by that is choose a business outcome and start creating your project towards driving towards a business outcome and have some metrics by which you can measure the outcome. Start creating a portfolio of projects that you have prepared or done. Third, if you can, start contributing in open source because you will build a community there. Fourth one, which is very, very important, network, network, network. Every chance that you get, try to kind of network with multiple people or leaders in the portfolio that you are working on or in the area of expertise, and those will take you a long way. We talked about continuous learning and certification. Have an industry knowledge, focus on one domain and become an expert in that. Create a personal brand and also have a job search strategy. Don't go wild. Be very focused on what you want. What is the organization's vision? What are you worth? And what is that you want to kind of do? Right? All of these are going to be very critical. Now, on the other side, when companies are going to be hiring you, they are going to be looking at three important factors. I call it as three C's. First one is competence. Can you do your job well? Commitment. Are you going to be excited to be part of this organization and the team? If you are going to be committed, then rest will automatically follow. And then the third one is how compatible will you be? Meaning, how can you get along with the team and deliver things? Now, these are just a few, I would say, recommendations and thoughts from my side. Now, with that, I just want to conclude by wishing each one of you the very best. And I'm sure you're going to have an exciting career in the days to come. I'm reminded by what Steve Jobs once said: stay hungry, stay foolish, and never settle. What it means is never ever stop learning. Don't be reluctant to take risks and never give up or never settle for what you have. Always aim higher. And this should take you up, guys. Again, thanks for the time, and I look forward to the Q&A. Thank you.